Poor girl sells artwork to fund her chemo. Then a single dad walks by and did the unthinkable intro hook. Imagine being 17 years old, sitting on a cold sidewalk, watching strangers walk past the only thing you have left to offer the world, your art. Not because you want fame or recognition, but because your life depends on it. That's exactly where Emma found herself on a Tuesday morning in October, in a small town in Ohio, with nothing but a folding table, a cardboard sign, and a hut full of hope. She wasn't asking for charity. She was fighting for her life, one painting at a time. Subscribe to Loud. Before we dive into this incredible story, if you're new here, welcome to Heartfelt Moments, the channel where real stories of kindness remind us what being human truly means. Please take a second to subscribe, hit that like button, and drop a comment below telling us where you're watching from. Your support means the world to this community. Now, let's get into it. Story begins. Emma Calloway had always been the kind of girl who saw the world in color. Even as a child growing up in a modest two-bedroom house in Dayton, Ohio, she would cover every blank surface she could find with drawings, sunflowers, starry skies, and faces full of emotion. Art wasn't just her hobby. It was her language, her comfort, her whole world. But just 3 months before her senior year of high school, Emma's world came crashing down. She was diagnosed with acute lymphoblastic leukemia. The word hit her family like a freight train. Her mother, Sandra, a part-time waitress working double shifts, just to keep the lights on, sat in that hospital room and wept in a way Emma had never seen before. They had no health insurance. The treatment costs were staggering, tens of thousands of dollars they simply didn't have. Emma didn't spiral into despair though. She did what she had always done when life felt too heavy to carry. She picked up a paintbrush. Over the next weeks, in between doctor's appointments and exhausting rounds of medication, Emma painted. She painted sunsets that looked like they were on fire. She painted quiet little cottages surrounded by wildflowers. She painted a girl standing in the rain, arms stretched wide, face turned toward the sky. Each piece was small but breathtaking, full of feeling, full of life. Then she made a decision. She would sell her paintings on the sidewalk outside the Dayton Community Farmers Market every Saturday morning. She set her prices low, between $15 and $30, because she didn't want money to stop someone from taking a piece of beauty home with them. She made a simple cardboard sign in black marker that read, "Handmade art by a teen with leukemia. Every dollar goes toward my chemotherapy. Thank you for your kindness." The first Saturday was hard. A few people slowed down, looked at the sign, gave her a sympathetic smile, and kept walking. Some dropped $1 in her tip jar without buying anything. By noon, she had sold 2 small pieces and made $40. She smiled anyway and told her mom it was a great start. The second Saturday was a little better. A retired school teacher bought 3 paintings and told Emma she had the soul of a real artist. Emma cried the whole drive home, not from sadness, but from being seen. Then came the third Saturday, and with it, a man named Daniel Rowe. Daniel was 34 years old, a construction worker, and a single father to a 7-year-old boy named Marcus. He wasn't having a good morning. He'd worked a 60-hour week, his truck needed new brakes, and Marcus had been fussy since dawn. He almost didn't stop at the market at all. But Marcus tugged his hand toward the colorful display on the sidewalk, the way kids always gravitate toward beautiful things, and Daniel followed. He stood in front of Emma's table and read her sign. Then he read it again. He looked at her, this thin, pale teenager with a brave smile and a bald head peeking out from under a knitted beanie, and something shifted deep inside his chest. He picked up the painting of the girl in the rain, the one with her arms stretched wide and her face turned toward the sky. He looked at it for a long time. Then he quietly asked Emma, "Did you paint this when you were scared?" Emma blinked, a little surprised by the question. "Yeah," she said softly. "I painted it the night before my first round of chemo. I didn't know what was going to happen. So I just painted how I wanted to feel, free." Daniel nodded slowly. He reached into his wallet. He pulled out every bill he had, 3 20s and a 10. He handed Emma $70 for a painting marked at 20. Then he turned to Marcus and said, "Buddy, which one do you want to pick for your room?" Marcus chose a bright painting of a lion standing on a hilltop at sunrise. Daniel paid for that one too, but he didn't stop there. He pulled out his phone, right there on the sidewalk, posted Emma's story to his neighborhood Facebook group with photos of her table and her sign. He wrote, "This young lady is selling her heart on a sidewalk to stay alive. Come buy her art." Share this everywhere. By that afternoon, the post had been shared over 400 times. By Sunday morning, it had reached thousands of people across Ohio. Strangers drove from 2 hours away to buy Emma's paintings. A local news station picked up the story. Online orders flooded in from across the country. Within 2 weeks, Emma's community had raised enough money to cover her first full round of chemotherapy, and then some. Daniel later told a reporter that he almost didn't stop that day. "I was tired and distracted," he said. "But something told me to slow down, and I'm so glad I listened." Emma finished her treatment 8 months later. She stood in her backyard on a warm June evening, looked up at the sky. The same sky she had painted 100 times, and felt something she hadn't felt in a long time. Peace. She still paints, and she says every single brushstroke is a thank you. Closing, kindness doesn't always look like grand gestures. Sometimes it looks like a tired single dad slowing down, reading a sign, and choosing to care. Sometimes it's a Facebook post. Sometimes it's buying a painting you didn't plan to buy, because the person who made it needed more than just money. They needed to know they mattered. Emma mattered, and because one stranger believed that, alive today to keep painting her beautiful, colorful world. So the next time life pulls you in 100 directions, remember Daniel. Slow down. Look around. You never know whose life you might change simply by choosing kindness. Thank you for watching Heartfelt Moments. If this story moved you, share it with someone who needs a reminder that good people still exist. See you in the next one.